Oh, and that would be helpful too. Got it. I just opened the chat box, so this is helpful. Okay. If you have a chat or if you have a question, you could chat it in and I will see it. I won't embarrass you. Okay, Act 3, Scene 4, I am first. Remember that Paris wants to marry Juliet, and originally the father was very understanding. He said that if Juliet likes you, then I'll approve of the marriage. We'll see if that continues today. Things have fallen out, sir, so unluckily that we have had no time to move our daughter. We have not gotten to talk to her about marrying you. Remember, it's only been a day. Look you, she loved her kinsman Tybalt dearly, and so did I. Well, we were born to die. 'Tis very late, she'll not come down tonight, I promise you, but for your company, I would have been abed an hour ago.
These times of woe afford no times to woo. Madame, good night. Commend me to your daughter.
Okay, Paris is very understanding. Lady?
I will and know her mind early tomorrow. Tonight she's mewed up to her heaviness.
Okay, so it's late at night. Capulet is saying he would have been in bed if it wasn't for Paris. Sir Paris, I will make a desperate tender, a risky offer of my child's love. I think she'll be ruled in all respects by me. Nay, more, I doubt it not. Wife, go you to her ere you go to bed. Acquaint her here of my son Paris's love, and bid her, mark you me, on Wednesday next, but soft, what day is this?
Monday, my lord.
Okay, is anyone else starting to get a little panicky about what the father's about to say? I hope so. So today is Monday. That also means that yesterday was Sunday. And so all of our play so far happened either Sunday or Monday. So you can use that in your timeline as you're putting together your social media site. Everything started on a Sunday. Okay, well, here's Capulet. Monday, haha, well, Wednesday is too soon. A Thursday let it be. A Thursday tell her she shall be married to this noble earl. Will you be ready? Do you like this haste? We'll keep no great ado, a friend or two, for hark you, Tybalt being slain so late, it may be thought we held him carelessly, being our kinsman, if we revelled too much. Therefore we'll have some 6 friends, and there an end. But what say you to Thursday?
My lord, I would that Thursday were tomorrow.
Well, get you gone, a Thursday be it then. Go you to Juliet ere you go to bed. This is speaking to the mother again. Prepare her, wife, against this wedding day. Farewell, my lord. Light to my chamber, ho. Afore me, it is very late, that we may call it early by and by. Good night. Okay, so according to Juliet's family, what is the cause of her grief? And that was at the beginning. Remember, we know she's upset about her husband now being banished, but we also know that Tybalt has died. And so her family believes she's upset because Tybalt died. And Paris, he said, it's okay. I'll wait for Juliet until she's ready to marry me. He's patient and he's understanding. He seems like a pretty cool guy, right? However, oh, Dad, Dad has decided, he decided Juliet will marry Paris, and Wednesday is too soon because today's Monday, but Thursday is good. Yeah, great plan. On Thursday of this week, so, you know, why not? And in some ways, he's hoping this will cheer Juliet up. What do you guys think about this? I mean, I'm not sure how you'll answer that unless y'all start unmuting mics. I see I can't tell Alex if that's a thumbs up or a thumbs down since you're upside down, but yeah, so things just got a little bit complicated, didn't they? All right. I think probably you've had enough time to write down those ideas, but yep, why not just make it more complicated for Romeo and Juliet? And then the last scene, Alex, you'll be Juliet, Isaac, you're Romeo, I will cover the nurse and Capulet, and then Ava, you are Lady Capulet. If you are not unmuted and you need to be, then just chat me and I'll take care of it. Okay, Act 3, Scene 4, we are at the Capulet's orchard. Remember that Romeo was planning to come to Juliet tonight on their wedding night, and this is also goodbye for them until they can figure out a solution to their problem. All right, Juliet, start us off.
Wilt thou be gone? It is not yet near day. It was the nightingale, and not the lark, that pierced the fearful hollow of thine ear. Nightly she sings on yond pomegranate tree. Believe me, love, it was the nightingale.
Okay, Juliet is trying to say, it's still nighttime, you don't have to go yet. Remember, Romeo has to be away before the sun comes up or he'll be in danger. So she's saying it's not the morning yet, it's the night. Romeo?
It was the lark, the herald of the morn, no nightingale. Look, love, the envious streaks do the lace, severing the clouds in yonder east. Night's candles are burnt out, and the jocund day stands tiptoe on the misty mountain tops. I must be gone, and live, or stay, and die.
Yond light is not daylight, I know it, I. It is some meteor that the sun exhales, to be to thee this night a torch-bearer, and light thee on thy way to Mantua. Therefore stay yet, thou needst not be gone.
Let me be ta'en, let me be put to death. I am content, so thou wilt have it so. I'll say yon grey is not the morning's eye, 'tis but the pale reflex of Cynthia's brow. Nor that is not the lark whose notes do beat the vaulty heaven so high above our heads. I have more care to stay than will to go. Come, death, and welcome. Juliet wills it so. And how is it, my soul? Let's talk. It is not day.
Okay, so they are arguing over whether it's nighttime or daytime because that is what decides whether Romeo can stay or go. And Romeo said, okay, fine, we'll imagine that it's night and I'll stay here and I'll die. And it's okay, it's worth it because I love you so. And then Juliet, she changes her tune a little bit. She doesn't want him dead. Juliet?
It is, hie hence, be gone away. It is the lark that sings so out of tune, straining harsh discords and unpleasing sharps. Some say the lark makes sweet division. This doth not so, for she divideth us. Some say the lark and loathed toad change eyes. Now I would they had changed voices too, since arm from arm that voice doth us affray. Hunting thee hence with hunts up to the day. Oh, now be gone, more light and light it grows.
More light and light, more dark and dark our woes.
Madam,
Nurse?
your lady mother is coming to your chamber. The day is broke. Be wary, look about.
Then window, let day in and let life out.
Farewell, farewell, one kiss and I'll descend.
Thou art gone so, love lord, I husband friend. I must hear from thee every day in the hour, for in a minute there are many days. Oh, by this count I shall be much in years ere I again behold my Romeo.
Farewell, I will omit no opportunity that may convey my greetings. Love to thee.
Oh, thinkst thou we shall ever meet again?
I doubt it not, and all these woes shall serve for sweet discourses in our time to come.
O God, I have an ill-divining soul. Methinks I see thee, now thou art so low, as one dead in the bottom of a tomb. Either my eyesight fails, or thou look'st pale.
Okay, I'm going to pause us real quick. So they're in the middle of saying goodbye. Romeo is climbing back down the rope ladder, and Romeo is saying, I'll send my greetings to you. And Juliet is saying, do you think we'll ever meet again? And Romeo says, yes, certainly. And then Juliet, as she sees him climbing down, she has this foreshadowing moment telling this future that we already know about. She says that she sees him down as though he's in a tomb, and he looks pale as though he's dead. Romeo?
And trust me, love, in my eye so do you. Dry sorrow drinks our blood. Adieu, adieu.
O fortune, fortune, all men call thee fickle. If thou art fickle, what dost thou with him that is renowned for faith? Be fickle, fortune, for then I hope thou wilt not keep him long, but send him back.
Okay, we've talked about fickle being so changing, and we've talked about fortune's wheel, that you could be at the very top and suddenly at the very bottom. And Juliet says, be fickle again, so that we come back up to the top and get to be together. And then Juliet's mother comes in, bringer of good news. Juliet's mother, Lady Capulet?
Ho, daughter, are you up?
Who is't that calls? It is my lady mother. Is she not down so late, or up so early? What unaccustomed cause procures her hither?
Why, how now, Juliet?
Madam, I am not well.
Evermore weeping for your cousin's death. What wilt thou wash him from his grave with tears? And if thou couldst not make him live. Therefore have done. Some grief shows much of love, but much of grief shows still some want of wit.
Yet let me weep for such a feeling loss.
So shall you feel the loss, but not the friend which you weep for.
Feeling so the loss, I cannot choose but ever weep the friend.
Well, girl, thou weepst not so much for his death, as that the villain lives which slaughtered him.
What villain, madam?
That same villain Romeo.
Villain, and he be many miles asunder. God pardon him, I do, with all my heart, and yet no man like he doth grieve my heart.
Okay, I'm going to pause this real quick. So Lady Capulet believes that Juliet is weeping out of mourning for her cousin Tybalt, but really we know that Juliet is weeping because she loves Romeo and he's gone. And so we're going to enter into some irony here, where Juliet is speaking one way for her mother's sake, but we can interpret what she's saying as to be the opposite. And so notice the aside. And so that's kind of a short comment that she speaks under her breath, and her mom would not have heard it. Villain and he be many miles apart. So Romeo's no villain. And then she says, God pardon him, I do with all my heart, and yet no man like he doth grieve my heart. And so we know he grieves her because he's gone, but the mother might think it's because he has killed Tybalt. And so you can watch for these ironies coming up. Lady Capulet?
That is because the traitor murderer lives.
Aye, madam, from the reach of these my hands, would none but I might venge my cousin's death.
Okay, so notice that. That's quite clever of her. I wish that no one except for my own hands could take vengeance on Romeo, because she knows her hands won't hurt him. And so it appears she wants to kill him, but we know that it's so that no one else kills him. Lady Capulet?
We will have vengeance for it, fear thou not. Then weep no more. I'll send to one in Mantua, where that same banished renegade doth live. Shall give him such an unaccustomed dram that he shall soon keep Tybalt company. And then I hope thou wilt be satisfied.
Okay, so Lady Capulet just said that they're going to send someone to poison Romeo and kill him. And Juliet's answer?
Indeed, I never shall be satisfied with Romeo till I behold him dead. Is my poor heart so for a kinsman vexed, madam? If you could find out but a man to bear poison, I would temper it, that Romeo should, upon receipt thereof, soon sleep in quiet. Oh, how my heart abhors to hear him named, and cannot come to him to wreak the love I bore my cousin, upon his body that hath slaughtered him.
Okay, so there's again a lot of double meanings in there. And notice that first part with the dashes, that word dead, the mother would say, I will never be satisfied with Romeo until I behold him dead. But what Juliet's actually saying with that pause, I'll never be satisfied until I behold Romeo. Dead is my poor heart for a kinsman vexed. Okay, so that word dead, she's cleverly applied it differently. She also uses reek avenge or express is the double meaning there. So the mother can assume avenge, but really she wants to express her love. And she said that if there was a poison, she would weaken it so that it would make him sleep in quiet. Not sleeping in death, but just sleep. Lady?
Find thou the means, and I'll find such a man. But now I'll tell thee joyful tidings, girl.
And joy comes well in such a needy time. What are they, beseech your ladyship?
Well, well, thou hast a careful father, child, one who, to put thee from thy heaviness, hath sorted out a sudden day of joy, that thou expects not, nor I looked not for.
Oh, Juliet does not expect to see this coming.
Madame, in happy time. What day is that?
Marry, my child, early next Thursday morn, the gallant, young, and noble gentleman, the county Paris, at St. Peter's Church, shall happily make thee there a joyful bride.
Now by St. Peter's Church, and Peter too, he shall not make me there a joyful bride. I wonder at this haste that I must wed, ere he that should be husband comes to woo. I pray you tell my lord and father, madame, I will not marry yet, and when I do, I swear it shall be Romeo, whom you know I hate, rather than Paris. These are news indeed.
Here comes your father, tell him so yourself, and see how he will take it at your hands.
Okay, so again, we've got this irony. We know the backstory. The other characters aren't aware, so dramatic irony. And notice Juliet is not being ruled by her father. Her father's banking on her being obedient. Yes, I am Capulet. Okay, so let's double check and answer a couple questions here before Dad comes to hear this. Why does Juliet appear to speak ill of Romeo? She has to hide her feelings from her mother. And so she uses double meanings. Yeah, and irony. How does Juliet respond to her mother's news? I will not. Where is it? I will not be. Oh, he shall not make me there a joyful bride. And then she points out, I'd rather marry my enemy, Romeo. Of course she would. Okay. And then how do you think Dad is going to react to this? I mean, can he really go back to Paris and say, never mind, my daughter's disobedient? We've got some pride coming along here. Okay, Capulet comes in. When the sun sets, the earth doth drizzle dew, but for the sunset of my brother's son, it rains downright. Okay, so for Tybalt's death, it's raining. How now, a conduit girl? What, still in tears? Evermore showering? In one little body that counterfeits a bark, a sea, a wind? For still thy eyes, which I may call the sea, do ebb and flow with tears. The bark thy body is sailing in this salt flood. The winds thy sighs, who raging with thy tears and they with them, without a sudden calm will overset thy tempest-tossed body. Basically, Juliet, why are you still crying? How now, wife, have you delivered to her our decree?
Aye, sir, but she will none. She gives you thanks. I would the fool were married to her grave.
Soft, take me with you. Take me with you, wife. So explain this to me. How? Will she none? Does she not give us thanks? Is she not proud? Does she not count her blessed, unworthy as she is, that we have wrought so worthy a gentleman to be her bride?
Not proud you have, but thankful that you have. Proud that I can never be of what I hate, but thankful even for hate that is meant love.
How chopped logic? What is this? Okay, I'm gonna pause, but do you see the sentence structure for Capulet? Before he was like poetic and beautiful about her tears and the wind and the oceans and a lot of long sentences. And now he is short and choppy and he is very angry. Proud and I thank you and I thank you not, and yet not proud. Mistress minion you, thank me no thankings, nor proud me no prouds, but fettle your fine joints against Thursday next to go with Paris to St. Peter's Church, or I will drag thee on a hurdle thither. Out, you green sickness carrion, out, you baggage, you tallow face.
Fie, what are you, mad?
Okay, notice that Juliet's on the ground begging and the parents are furious. Juliet?
Good father, I beseech you on my knees, hear me with patience, but to speak a word.
Okay, so maybe Juliet's gonna come clean here. I don't know, maybe she'll tell the truth. She's already married. She cannot get married again, right? And Capulet, hang thee, young baggage, disobedient wretch. I tell thee what, get thee to church a Thursday, or never after look me in the face. Speak not, reply not, do not answer me. My fingers itch, wife, we scarce thought us blessed that God had lent us but this only child. But now I see this one is one too much, and that we have a curse in having her. Out on her, Hilding. Oh, this is also me. God in heaven bless her. You are to blame, my lord, to rate her so. The nurse knows the truth, remember. And why, my lady wisdom, hold your tongue, good prudence. Smatter with your gossips, go. I speak no treason. This is why I don't read so many parts, guys. Make me lose my mind. Oh, God, a good end. May not one speak? Peace, you mumbling fool, utter your gravity or a gossip's bowl, for here we need it not.
You are too hot.
Okay, she's telling him, just settle down, right? You're too angry. God's bread, it makes me mad. Day, night, hour, tide, time, work, play, alone in company. Still my care hath been to have her matched. My entire purpose in life has been to find a husband for her. And now, having provided a gentleman of noble parentage, of fair demesnes, youthful and nobly trained, stuffed, as they say, with honorable parts, proportioned as one's thought would wish a man. Okay, everything is perfect about him. I find the perfect man. And then to have the wretched puling fool, a whining mammet in her fortune's tender, to answer, I'll not wed, I cannot love, I am too young, I pray you pardon me. Bud, and you will not wed, I'll pardon you. Graze where you will, you shall not house with me. Look to it, think on it, I do not use to jest. Thursday is near, lay hand on heart, advise. And you be mine, I'll give you to my friend. Okay, if you're my daughter, you are marrying this guy. If you are not my daughter, hang, beg, starve, die in the streets, for by my soul, I'll ne'er acknowledge thee, nor what is mine shall never do thee good. Trust to it, bethink you, I'll not be forsworn. And he leaves, okay? We've got a bit of a problem here. Juliet?
Is there no pity sitting in the clouds that sees into the bottom of my grief? O sweet my mother, cast me not away. Delay this marriage for a month, a week, or if you do not, make the bridal bed in that dim monument where Tybalt lies.
Talk not to me, for I'll not speak a word. Do as thou wilt, for I have done with thee.
Oh God, oh nurse, how shall this be prevented? My husband is on earth, my faith in heaven. Now shall that faith return again to earth, unless that husband send it me from heaven by leaving earth? Comfort me, counsel me, alack, alack, but that heaven should practice stratagems upon so soft a subject as myself. What sayst thou? Hast thou not a word of joy? Some comfort, nurse.
Okay, so the parents have both turned against her. They didn't give Juliet a chance to answer. And let's finish filling in the paper here. What is Lord Capulet's reaction to Juliet's stand? You marry Paris or get out of my house, pretty much. You're not mine anymore. He's going to disown her if she doesn't marry. This was not his first response to Juliet, remember. So it's really sad, but this is just tragic, right? This is tragedy that pride would cause a downfall. I'm going to move on to the next page. If you need me to come back in the end, let me know. Okay, so we've seen Juliet has a dilemma. She can't remarry. She's already married to one guy. So this is actually somewhat a religious issue as well. And so she brings that up. The nurse's response, Juliet is saying, nurse, help me, right? Tell me what to do. Advise me. Faith, here it is. Romeo is banished, and all the world to you, nothing that he dares ne'er come back to challenge you. So he's not, he's not going to be here. Or if he do, it needs must be by stealth. He has to come secretly. Then, since the case so stands as now it doth, since things are how they are, I think it best you married with the county. Oh, he's a lovely gentleman. Romeo's a dish-clout to him. An eagle, madam, hath not so green, so quick, so fair an eye as Paris hath. Beshrew my very heart, I think you are happy in this second match, for it excels your first. Or if it did not, your first is dead, and 'twere as good he were as living here, and you no use of him.
Speak'st thou from thy heart?
And from my soul too, else beshrew them both.
Amen.
What?
Well, thou hast comforted me marvellous much. Go in and tell my lady I am gone, having displeased my father to Lawrence self, to make confession and to be absolved.
Okay, so let me explain this speech here. The nurse said, Romeo's gone. Paris is pretty cute. You should marry him. He's a much better match. Juliet is probably not fond of that. And so she says, are you speaking from your heart? And the nurse says, yes. And so Juliet says, okay. And do you think she's going to obey the nurse? She says that she's going to go to Friar Lawrence to make confession and be forgiven. But I have a suspicion that she's not going with the nurse in mind. Probably she's seeking out some other counsel. And then the next page, the nurse says, Mary, I will, and this is wisely done. Juliet? And the nurse is gone. Juliet?
Ancient damnation, O most wicked fiend! Is it more sin to wish me thus forsworn, or to dispraise my lord with that same tongue which she hath praised him with above compare so many thousand times? Go, counsellor, thou and my bosom henceforth shall be twain. I'll to the friar to know his remedy. If all else fail, myself have power to die.
Okay, so her final plan is she's cut off the nurse now. The nurse is not going to be connected with her anymore. I'm going to go to the friar to see what his solution is, and if it fails, then I'm just going to die. So that's where Juliet is at, and that is the end of Act 3. So let's fill in our notes here. How do the nurse and Juliet see the current situation? Nurse says to marry Paris. Juliet agrees on the surface, right? You guys understand what that means? What's another way to phrase that? I'll go back to the previous slide when we finish this one for those of you who missed it. The nurse says to marry Paris. Juliet agrees on the surface, or pretends to agree, if that's what you guys need to write so that it makes sense. How does it affect Juliet's relationship with the nurse? She no longer trusts the nurse's advice and cuts her off from her confidences. So she won't tell her the truth anymore. What does Juliet plan to do? Go to the friar for a solution or die. No good. This is a temporary problem. She's looking at a permanent solution. I would like you guys to fill in the last question there. What do you think is going to happen in the next act? How do you think this is going to play out? I'll go back one slide. And then one more thing I want to say before I let everyone go, and also before I stop the recording. I've updated the social media Shakespeare folder in our class with more resources and directions and samples. And actually, I can show it to you. I know you're looking at this slide, so give me just a second to pull it up. This is probably the best way to do it. So let me show the social media stuff, and then we have technically another like 20 minutes today that you guys could work on this if you want to start updating and keep updating and maybe check out the resources. Let me show you what I've created for you. I think I have to switch the sharing a minute. We'll just do that. That'll work. Oh no. I hope it's not sharing yet. Okay, good. The grade book was up, but I fixed it. Okay, that's always the fear of screen sharing. So in the social media Shakespeare assignment page, I've put some more resources and sample videos. I also have an overview. And the thing that I kind of want to show you, there's the links are all here as well. So, here's the thing that I was going to show you. So I created a sample brainstorm so you could see how simple this is. It's not as complex as you think. Okay, so I only looked at Acts 1, 2, and 3. And if I included each of these items in Acts 1 through 3, like you see here, I've got 3 quotations. I've got 3 pictures, 1, 2, 3 in blue. I have a song in purple. I have a movie in red, and I have an article in orange. That means that all I have to do for Act 4 and 5 is one more post about what Romeo's doing in each act. So Act 4, hi, I am Romeo and I am in Mantua, because he had to be banished, right? And then Act 5, oh, this is Romeo and I am in whatever this situation is that I'm not going to spoil for you right now for Act 5, okay? All the extra notes are just extra, and you might even use that to help you as you're thinking about what your character was doing. But if I just use the highlighted items, I am like 99% done with this project, okay? And then there's videos on how to turn it into your social media site and stuff like that. Okay, any questions real quick about the social media assignment? I also included on this site the dates and times I'll be giving you to work on this, and it's quite a lot. So you have an extra 20 minutes left today if you want to update today. Monday, you'll have half an hour to brainstorm and maybe start typing in. The following Monday, you get half an hour, and then I have like an hour and a half still in our last week of classes. So I would say that that's more than enough time. I'll also have office hours if you need. You can always email me too if you have questions and want any help. But if you look at the sample, there's a lot of information there. My 3 quotations are there. My 3 pictures ideas are there. A song, a movie, and an article. And that's all that's required. Okay, I heard to go back to the slides, so let's go back to the slides. Let's see, first one was question F. Okay, and if you guys are done and if you got what you need, you are free to go update your brainstorm for Act 3 that we just finished. And if you need more answers, I'm on F right now. Those of you who needed F, if you want to tell me when you're done, and I'll go to the next one, which was letter D from a few days ago. Otherwise, you guys are free to go. Thank you for coming. Have a good day. And if you have questions about SMS or if you want to see something, I can show you right now too, since we have some time. But I don't want to make you sit here if you don't have anything that you're in need of. Okay, I think people with letter F are probably done. Act 2, Scene 6, Question D. Let me see if I can find that one. Oh, this is Act 3. Act 2, Scene 6, Question D. Oh, these questions don't have. This is probably it. Is this what you are looking for? Maybe. All right, I think that's everything unless there's some last requests. Make sure to fill this out and you guys can turn in your Act 3 paperwork and work on that social media stuff. Other questions? Chat them, otherwise I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching the recording. Can't find my buttons. There we go.